Hello, this is Greg Allison with Green Greg. It's coming to you on the 24th of January, 2021. Time on deck is 18 hours Central Standard Time. Now, did Biden blunder big and bad? I'd say so. On his very first day in office, President Biden signed with Executive Order 13990, which was about public health, securing public health, the environment, and ensuring we had good science for the climate crisis. Way down in the bottom of it, suspended Executive Order 13920, which is securing the bulk power grid of the United States of America. And I'm going to tell you why that was a very bad thing. And I hope we can get him to see through it and turn that around. Maybe they'll put it back into place and not try to replace it with something else. So we're going all into that. My friends, I've covered power grid defense a lot on this channel. It's very crucial. I've even chaired 2 power grid defense conferences. It loss of money to do this because this is important. This is something we've got to do to secure our grid, secure our future. And the prospects, the consequences of the grid going down are far worse than most of you imagine. I'm going to go into that. I'm going to do a special video following this just on that topic about just how bad it can actually be if the grid goes down. This is one of the reasons you need to subscribe to my channel, bang that notification bell, and click all if you've not already done so, because I do a lot of videos on these things, and including things that you can do to survive, like eating the weeds in the trees and and growing your garden. But I cover a lot of this power grid defense topic, and a lot of times a lot of the other topics I cover about things going on in the world, which some of you don't like, really tie back to this, because a lot of our adversaries in the world would like to take down our power grid, because the power grid is the Achilles heel of America. It is the one thing that is easiest to hit, that does the most damage. There's several root causes that can bring down our grid. And if you bring it down, we are in deep bad. It's going to be worse than the nuclear war. Oh, Greg, you can't say it's impossible. I'm going to do a video following this one, and I'll give you just a little preview of it to show you exactly why that is true, why most of you misunderstand, and why most of even the securest preppers aren't going to make it. Most of your doomsday preppers just aren't even going to make it. I'm going to show you why. You're going to know that it's not possible, Greg. I got everything I got here. You better be able to handle the radiation for decades, intense radiation, for decades to come. I'm going to show you exactly why in the following video, which I'll give you a little preview for in this video. But I'm going to show you the executive orders and all this stuff is coming up right now. Now, that said, get ready, prepare. I want to work together. I'm not here to fearmonger. I'm here to get to fix monger. To get us to fix it. That's what this video is about. I'm calling for us to get involved, to get engaged, because this is something power grid can be fixed. That's why I did power grid defense conferences. That's why I do a lot of the videos I've done. It's one, you can't fix it if the people aren't aware of it. And I'm beating the drum to get people to wake up. And that's why you need to share these videos, so we can get people woke up to the notion that we got to fix this power grid. It is our weakest point. And where does the enemy always attack? At the weakest point, of course. Where else would you attack? It's the Achilles heel of America. It's the biggest target, and we're doing nothing about it. Why? Why? And here we start to get something, get ahead a little bit, and what they do? Taken away from us? Why? On the name of climate? Public health? Public health? This is the opposite. Yeah, okay. And we're going to get back into that. Now, I'm going to tell you, get ready. Watch my videos on how to garden. You don't need to know these things. You're going to need to know how to eat from the weeds and trees. Hopefully, we can keep this one thing from coming to fruition. But I'm going to have to, I've done a video on nuclear bug out. Yeah, you need to find that. So, my friends, also, I do have specials. And it's a good special. You can get 20% off this food that lasts 25 years. Some of it goes 30. That's the how long, that's the stay fresh date. It lasts longer. This is light late food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You get this, you'll be a winner, because you get 2,000 calories a day. You can get it in a 4-week or 2-week, with a special on the cover of the landing page, prepwithgreg.com. Go to prepwithgreg.com, and guess what? If I bug out, I'm taking this stuff, because one, if I'm in a vehicle, I'll take the buckets, because I can use these buckets later. But if I'm on foot, hey, I can open these pouches and throw them in the backpack. It's a whole lot easier to carry than most other type of supplies. So there you go. All you gotta do is add water. And I've got a video showing you how to purify and sanitize water. It's two separate things. All right, so let's get into this. I'm gonna go straight to the websites here. Bada bing, bada bang. Hang on. Clicking the share button. And she is going slow here. Bing. And here we go. This is the White House site for executive orders. And here it is. Executive order on protecting public health and environment and restoring science to tackle climate crisis. So let's diagram this. Protecting public health and environment and restoring science. Okay. Well, I gotta tell you, I heard about this executive order. I didn't hear it was under this. I heard that there had been a rescission or a suspension of 1390-20, 13920 executive order to protect the United States bulk power system. I heard that even a couple of days ago. And so I came on this White House website here and I went through every executive order. Some of them I did a search on where I searched on 13.9.20 and a lot of them I scanned all the way to the bottom. This is one of the few I didn't completely scan because this didn't seem to have anything to do with it. There were executive orders that did nothing but get rid of executive orders in the previous administration. This was not one of them. This seemed to be so off topic. I read through most of it and didn't find it. So, okay, this is another one of those stories running around on the internet saying it's this, it's that, and the other. And there's so much of that going around today. I just dismissed it. I thought, we got to verify our stuff, which I agree with. We got to verify stuff. But guess what? It's here. There it is. Executive Order 13920 of May 1, 2020, securing the United States bulk power systems is hereby suspended for 90 days. The Secretary of Energy and the Director of the OMB shall jointly consider whether to recommend a replacement order to be issued. Or maybe they'll completely rescind it forever or replace it with something like, hey, let's buy everything we can as cheap as possible. Yeah, which might be, what that means. We're going to go into that. I'm going to discuss this. I'm going to break it out for you. But what does this have to do with this? I'm not seeing it. Do you see it? Where's it at? This is going to have the opposite effect. So I've told you in other videos, if you want to know what legislation is all about, take what they say it's about and come back with the opposite. Bills about, food safety are going to bring you food unsafety, but it's going to give you such regulations on the small guys. It's going to make the big guys the only ones that can afford to live up to it. And they're going to give you cows from the feedlot that are utter deep in cow, what, and having to be pumped full of antibiotics to survive because they're pecking them in like sardines in there and milking them. You smell that place miles away. That's not the kind of dairy you want. That's where federal regulations on safety take you for food safety to stuff. It's just the opposite, and that's what you kind of expect from these agencies. So here we are. My gosh, really? Yes, they did it. They really did it. Joe Biden did this. He signed this. Wow. Okay, so let's go over here to my friend's site. Command Sergeant Major Michael Mabey. Bing. Let's see. What's in that rear mirror? Look at this, guys. This is the website of Command Sergeant Major Michael Mabey, author of the Civil Defense book. Hang on, stop sharing here a minute. I'm going to show you this book. There it is. I've had Michael Mabey on my channel. Yes, I have. He's an excellent man. This man is a hero. And this is what he wrote me. So, Greg, thanks for working so hard to protect Alabama and the U.S. Oh yeah, by the way, you may remember I've also had Dr. Peter Vincent Pry on this channel twice. He's the dean, one of the deans of Power Grid Defense. Of course, he also wrote me a nice note, big note. All right. Also had I got Dr. Peter Pry on Rex Bear's Leak Project channel too. And holy smoke, I thought, well, I'm an electrical engineer, sure, I got the best interview. Wow, Rex did a better job than I did. Wow, he did a bang up interview with Dr. Peter Pry. I'll have to have him back on here again. So, all right, let's get into it here. Let's go back to the share. Back to Michael Maybe's site here. And guys, this is one of the trucks that moves some of these transformers. This is those transformers you've probably heard me talk about, the high voltage transformers that can be 200 to 400 tons a piece. This isn't the biggest one. I've seen bigger ones than this, but look what a rig it takes to move these things. They're heavy, they're dense. They are custom designed for each place to go in, and the coils are hand wound coils. Okay, anybody can do that. Oh yeah, there's certain skilled tradesmen that do this that are good at it. South Africa thought they could copy it, and they tried it, and their transformers burned out in a year or two. So this is an art. It's not been automated. Hand wound coils. So, and we've got, hundreds and hundreds of these here in the United States, thousands. And it can all go down. 9 critical ones can cause a cascading failure to burn out the other ones. It's crazy. So here we are. See what Michael maybe asked here. He says, is a grid supply chain cybersecurity to be surrendered to China? Oh, great. Why does he say China? Okay, I'm going to show you why. Because we had something come up. That's why this whole executive order got started. Oops, it's getting me down to the bottom. Let me go back up. I was shaking around here, and my page goes jumping. So it just so happens that we had a security incident with our power grid. One of these large transformers, in fact, that we bought from China had something in it. And people go, what is this? There's something wrong with this transformer. It was reported in the Wall Street Journal. Click here, go see it. Don't take my word for it. It turns out they seized it. They took it to Sandia National Laboratories. So it was supposed to feed into Denver, Colorado. Do you live in Denver? They took it to Sandia National Laboratories, and cybersecurity expert Joseph M. Weissen, I see, there's the name of the person, issued a report. And basically he said, well, that he said, the site accepted testing identified electronics that should not have been part of the transformer. Hardware backdoors. It's kind of the back door that allows people in their computer so they can control it. Like if you ever have an issue in Norton and you give them a code and they come in your computer to control it, or what hackers do when they hack your computer. Yeah, hardware to enable hacking of our power grid system. And that's not even the worst part of it. Turns out, according to the sources I've heard, which is not in this article here, that those hardware components included cell phone transmitters. Maybe that's how they detected it. Maybe it gave a signal, and somebody just happened to be looking for signal for some strange reason. I don't know. Maybe they saw the box. But anyway, you know what? I got those things in my, my alarm system for my house has a cell phone built into it. My CPAP machine has a cell phone built into it that will automatically send signal about how I sleep to the Huntsville Hospital. Oh, Greg, how can you be a prepper, use a CPAP? Well, look, if fire rate goes down, I'll just jack up the head of my bed 7 inches, give me a little more incline. I won't need it, okay? Don't worry about that. they are kind of easy to use in the meantime. All right, let's move on here. So, so he talks about this. See, there was a federal agency supposed to be protecting our grid. And Command Sergeant Michael Maybe's been spanking them pretty hard here. FERC, you've heard me talk about FERC, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, which is embedded with NERC, the National Electric Reliability Corporation, which you don't mention here. NERC and FERC, they make a pair, unholy alliance, of an incestuous alliance in which the regulator is ruled by the regulatee. In fact, yes, for regulation to go forward, it has to be proposed by the industry group, NERC, and FERC rubber stamps. They have a revolving door between these two agencies. I've talked about those kind of things in my video, how government is actually run. Well, this is one of the worst cases of that, because it's actually institutionalized incest between two agencies. Yeah, I call it that because it is nasty, the relationship. Yeah, and I hope some of the people that aren't in NERC and FERC are listening. I don't care. I'm telling you, I'm laying it out because you guys fight and resist us every step. So I'm putting it on the line here. This is the truth. It is true, and everybody knows that NERC proposes regulations to FERC, and NERC is the industry group. So wow, that's the hen house, the fox owning the hen house. Yikes. So there we are. But see, what happened is FERC laid down on its job. All these are clickable links, by the way. And this is why this executive order 13920 was issued. But yeah, why China? Why China? China's okay. They're our friends. Yeah, they're our friends, right? They wouldn't try to influence us over here. Look here. One of the electric utility's main lobbyists has members controlled by the, you don't believe that? It's a link. I'm telling you, man, go check it out. Bing, bada bing, bada bang, there it is. I'm gonna tell you something. If Command Sergeant Michael Mabey brings you something, it's true. You can take it to the bank. Oh yeah. So how's he get all this information? He's out there filing all these petitions to the FERC, for example. He files directly to FERC. And he also files FOIAs and things like that, Freedom of Information requests. So I am the complainant in this document, he says, and he was. He does these kind of things. And in fact, I've had him on my channel talking about this, and then we're working to get several people to sign a petition to get some of his stuff through, and that worked. It happened. Thank you. See, that's what I do. I bring you things that you can do to help us secure the grid. I'm not just a fear monger. I'm a fix it monger. We're trying to get it fixed. That's what this video is about. But you can't fix it if you don't know about it, or if people don't believe it, if they're not buying it. You got to get the tension up there, and that's what we're doing here. So please share my videos on these power grid defense topics. So bang, yeah. So Command Sergeant Major Michael Mabey did that. He is a hero. He was in the towers at 9/11, and he rescued a man from the tower. He took a crippled man all the way out of the tower, a man that couldn't walk. I shouldn't say crippled, right? There's other language for that. Pardon me. A walking challenged individual. He took the individual out of one of the towers, and the guy thanked him for saving his life. He says, "No, you saved my life." That meant when the tower collapsed behind him. He said, "If it hadn't been for you, I'd have been in there doing other things, trying to get things fixed." And it's just like him. He'll give credit to the other person always. He's quite a hero. If you don't love Michael Mabey, hey, you maybe need your head examined. he's an outstanding man, any way you slice it. I'm happy to be able to call that man a friend. So there you go, guys. So what's he talking about here? Get this. We know that Russia and China have been attacking our power grid, hacking it. This is all on the coattails of that SolarWinds incident. The major hacking incident just occurred in the United States. So on the tail of a major hacking incident, we're just going to give up our grid cybersecurity just like that? Really? Our most important critical guys, you know, we have a lot of critical infrastructure in the United States, right? We got fuel, we got water, we got internet. There's several things that people consider critical systems, and none of these work without power, guys. Power system is the Achilles heel. So we're just going to surrender our security on the power grid. Wow, we worry about internet security. We're almost. Some people were talking. We might ought to. I showed you some articles. People said we might ought to attack Russia, you know, because of this. But yet we'll let our power grid go. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. So what's Michael Mabey say? I hope the plan is not to trade our national security for future cooperation in fighting the climate crisis. If there is a successful attack on the grid, U.S. greenhouse gases will plummet along with the living population. Oh, big time. Oh, big time. Yeah. Oh, I understand. It won't be good for the environment because you're going to get radiation. Yes, radiation. Hey, you got to be kidding me. Oh, no, I'll show you that. Oh, by the way, I showed you the White House site. This is the president's executive order from how about that? Signed on first day in office, January 20, 2021. You know, I was kind of having a little joke showing Homer Simpson sitting on the roof of his house. To me, it was kind of funny. If I show you a cartoon about something on my channel and say, you know, something to doomsday, you know, guys, I'm having a little fun. It's tongue in cheek, you know. It's a cartoon for a Pete's sake. This cartoon's had an uncanny way of predicting the future. Oh my gosh. Doomsday wasn't the 20th. But did the fuse get lit on the 20th? What is this? Oh my gosh, on the 20th. That day, he signs this executive order And down here in the bottom, there it is. He suspends Executive Order 13920. Wow. There it is once again. And what is that executive order? Right here. Securing the United States bulk power system. What's so bad about securing our bulk power system, for Pete's sake? Gosh, guys. Oh, yeah, go back here. Why does this happen? Let's see. What is this? How do these companies, why do they get this Chinese stuff? It's because of all the regulations that are out there that tell companies they have to choose the cheapest components. So if the Chinese stuff is out there and it's part of the cheapest components available, that's what you're going to use. I think he says that in here somewhere in this website. I mean, you know, if that's what's available and there's nothing saying don't use them, some of these companies are bound. That's what they have to do. So you get the back door coming in. Wow. So we're going to suspend that for 90 days. Really? Yo, Joe, wake up. Come on. Joe Biden. No. Change your mind, Joe. Say it ain't so. Rescind that part of this executive order 13990. How about that? Reinstate. Put out an executive order reinstating executive order 13920. President Joe Biden, please. Why would you do this? Anyway, guys, there's a lot of good stuff in here. Billions of reasons we did not have grid security. How about that? So I was up in wee hours last night trying to wrestle with GoDaddy, and I managed to get my Power Grid Defense site back up through all that. Oh yeah, this is the conference. Oh yeah, look at there. This is a conference I chaired in 2018. Oh yeah, y'all heard of this congressman here? Yeah, he is my congressman, and he was one of the opening speakers, along with the mayor and Dr. Peter Vincent Pry. See, I've had all these guys on my channel here. Ambassador Hank Cooper. This is the man I interviewed, who in that interview tells you how to get your state to harden its power grid. You need to find that video and watch it. You've probably seen Mitzi Adams, solar scientist, at the flea market, not the flea market, but the farmer's market I go to. She likes to come by my booth when I'm at the farmer's market. Dr. Arthur Bradley, I've had him on this channel. Brigadier General Ken Krosniak, I've had him on this channel. Maybe I should get the rest of these guys on here, right? Maybe a few of them. And again, Command Sergeant Major Michael Mabey. Awesome individual. Quite a few other awesome individuals here. Damian Waller runs the Secure the Grid Coalition. He's a Marine. Members of the FBI, members of the Army, CIA. We had several different, NASA. This guy's actually a NASA employee. He has a PhD in electrical engineering. He's got his own website. He talks about things you can do to take care of your systems at home. I've done a little bit of that. We'll do some more. I've had him on my channel. So I've had some of these people on this channel. I can bring more of them. And I had other speakers too, and other speakers from the a couple of years prior to this one, and a lot of other contacts we can bring on from our community. All right. Enough said of all that. Let me end the share on this and go show you just a little preview of what's coming up here for another video. Check this out. Why worry about a mere little full-scale nuclear war? It could get even worse. Greg, you got to be kidding. Now here's the nuclear power plants in America, for prevalent wind patterns, the prevalence. They do move around more than that. And here they're focused on the power plants. Oh, 100 Fukushimas. That's nothing. Oh, well, the radiation carried across the United States. They're just worried about the reactors. Oh my gosh, there's bigger things to fry than the reactors, my friends. Because in spent fuel rod pools, and this number actually was a couple years old when I wrote this a couple years ago. So it's much bigger now, much bigger number, because it adds about 2,000 metric tons a year. As you can see, I went through the math. And what I calculated, 280 times more radioactive material in spent fuel rod pools than all the nuclear warheads on Earth. Wow. Yeah, the zircaloy alloy that clads them burns on contact with air. Fortunately, it's in water. In a big pool like this, 20 foot deep underwater. But that evaporates at 160 gallons per minute. You got to keep it pumped. Oh, we got backup generators. That's true. But when the power grid goes down and you can't pump diesel fuel anymore and the trucks can't get to you and the whole supply chain starts breaking down, at some point, you're not resupplying the generators to keep this going. Yeah, I'm going to go more detail in a future video on this. There's your fuel pellets, the zircaloy cladding, and the spent fuel rods are over here. This is the reactor. So I wasn't worried about the reactor. All this concrete, shoot it full of boron, and yeah, here's your reactor. Shoot it full of boron, and yeah, see how big this pool is? Look how big that pool is. There's a whole lot more stuff over here, my friends. And what's over the top? That looks like concrete. No, it's sheet metal. And guess what? That's somewhat secure. This, not so much so. Look here at Fukushima. The only thing that saved us in Fukushima was their grid hadn't gone down. And they had pumper trucks that went in and was able to keep water on the spent fuel rod pools. They kept the spent fuel rods pools covered, thankfully. Although they were scared that one of them might collapse. Thankfully, it did not. Holy smoke, that would have been a huge catastrophe. Look at this. Wow. Guys, I'm going to go into this in great detail. I have had a nuclear engineer tell me, Greg, that stuff won't burn. He's got all mad at me. Well, guess what? I have got the scientific papers and published test reports from Sandia National Laboratories that shows it burning, and shows it burning fast, burning hot, and being completely consumed in the fire. Oh yeah, it'll burn. Absolutely. They projected it, they modeled it, all their data said it would, they tested it, and it did. Case closed. We have to get a grid hardened. We have to harden our grid. And we can't have backdoors or somebody else can muck around with us and mess it up. Yeah, we can't have that. And President Biden, go back, change your executive order, please. Mr. Secretary of the Department of Energy, quit listening to NERC and FERC. Do the right thing. Do the right thing, do it right, and do it right now. Let's get it right. Let's fix it. You had something good and you rescinded it. Who was the person that suggested to take this out? And who was the person that suggested to hide it under public health? Public health, let's hide it down the bottom under public health, instead of over there where they were sending all the other executive orders. Interesting. Interesting. This has nothing to do with public health, except it will make it far worse if our grid should go down. So, wow, tisk, tisk, tisk. So, yeah, a lot of you may be, get rid of your politics right now. I know a lot of you are pro-Biden, and they're going, Greg. This ain't got anything to do with that. This has got to do with getting the job done, getting the right thing done. I'm talking to you about power grid defense. The power grid is apolitical. The power grid is something that's either going to sustain you or otherwise. The way our system is set up right now is extremely vulnerable. That's got to change. What can we do? Get a grid hardened, and also get these spent fuel rods put somewhere safe, not out where they're at now. You know, all these things are sitting around these power plants, and the government promised these plants years ago that they wouldn't have them sitting there, or decommissioning an ending point right now up in New York. And they're going to leave all those spent fuel rods sitting out there at the decommissioned plant. Wow. Wow. People up there in New York is not happy about it. I think they're suing the federal government about this. Can you blame them? Can you blame them? Wow. Okay, guys. We got to get this fixed. We got to get fixed. We got to get fixed now. You could go ahead and write your congressman's, better yet, write the White House. Dear President Biden, dear honorable, you're supposed to say honorable, but you believe it or not, or like it or not, it's just a protocol. Dear honorable President Biden, please consider rescinding your executive order 13990, at least in part dealing with executive order 13920. Please reinstate executive order 13920 in full. Our grid has to be secure. This is vital to our national security. Please do that. Do that now. I will go more into details on this. I'm going to be confirmed. I am a member of the Security Grid Coalition. I am a member of Dr. Peter Pry's Homeland Security Committee. I've got my own, which is a nationwide committee. I have my own Alabama Power Grid Defense Committee, as you can see from the website. And the website, hang on, we can go bigger. Once again, that website is powergriddefense.org. And we just got Alabama on the top. It's actually powergriddefense.org. So we're going to start looking at this nationwide. Let's get some things done. That's what we're all about here. This is not fear mongering. This is fix it mongering. Let's get it fixed. Okay. So we can fix this. I have hope. There's things I want to do. I don't want to be sitting here forever worried about my grid. I want to be able to grow microgreens, grow in my greenhouses. I want to be able to travel back and forth between my farms in Alabama and Arizona. I'd like to be able to get that one built out. I don't have to worry about everything crashing before I do these things. I don't want to crash after I invest so much money to do these things. I want to be able to visit other farms, drive around the country, come to you or whoever, and show you how things are growing in America, to bring you positive things. We got to get our grid fixed, guys. You know what? When I'm out and about, I could do wild edibles, different parts of the country, broaden the topic area, show you different things. So I can bring you a lot of good stuff. That's what I want to do. I'd have to hunker down in a hole, 20 foot deep, some rabbit hole, living there forever. I mean, how long can you live underground and survive? I mean, we're talking 100 years, guys. It's going to take forever for these spent fuel rod bulls to finish off gassing all that radiation. It'll be awful, awful. You want to live underground for 100 years? Can you make it? Even the guys in the big, deep underground bases. Nah. Their life support systems aren't that good. They may think they are, but they're not. Trust me. I've worked on the space station life support systems, ecosystems. Aquaponics greenhouses closes the nitrogen loop. I'm designing space colonies. I know a little bit about this stuff, guys. All right, my friends. With all that said, I'm going to say, so I know you've watched it this far, I say, Greg, yeah, we got to secure the grid. It's good enough. Everyone, I wish everybody the best, and I'm going to say thank you for watching.